President Washington, President George Washington, and Christopher Columbus. That is Washington, D.C. That's why it's named Washington, D.C., named for both of those. L'Enfant was instrumental in laying out D.C. And President Jefferson. Jefferson was a historian who loved the European cities, and he wanted D.C. to be laid out like a European city. He wanted it to be named the Paris of the U.S. The first building on our left will be the building of Bureau of Engraving. This is where all of the money is printed in the United States. There's no mint in D.C. This is just the Bureau of Engraving where they print the currency and the stamps for the United States Post Office. This is the building here on our left. And you can see the building has actually a drive-through. You can drive right through the building of engraving right there. The building next to this, as we come up here on the left-hand side, is the Holocaust Museum, dedicated in 1996 by President Clinton, over here on the left-hand side. The red brick building next to that is the original Treasury building. This was the original Treasury building of the United States. We'll be coming up to the mall here shortly. It'll be on our left and on our right. As you look to your right, you'll see a great view of the United States Capitol. And over on the left is the Washington Monument. From the Capitol over to the Lincoln Memorial, it's about a mile and a half, a mile and 3/4 over to the Lincoln Memorial. This is the mall, which is referred to as the mall. Also, they call it the backyard of the United States. A lot of different activities are down here on the mall. The museum over here on the left is our newest museum of the Smithsonian Institute. This is the African American Heritage History and Culture Museum here on the left-hand side, dedicated by President Obama in 1915, or 2015, if I can remember that.
1915.
2015. Taking a left on the Constitution Avenue.
Used to be long dead then.
Constitution Avenue used to be a canal back when D.C. was first laid out. We'll have the first glimpse of the White House. Will be on our right-hand side. This is the south front of the White House. This is the Truman Porch. You can see the Truman Porch was added on when President Truman was there. And this is between the fountain and the White House is where Marine One lands when the president is departing to go somewhere. It's over on our right-hand side. We'll be taking a left going down 17th Avenue or 17th Street here, and on our right you'll see this little stone house. That was the canal keeper's house, and when he was here during the canal. When this was a canal, he and his wife raised 12 children in this little tiny stone house on the right-hand side. We're coming up to the World War II Memorial. The World War II Memorial will be on our right, and on the north side of the memorial is the Atlantic side, and on the left is the Pacific side. You'll see 12 bronze reliefs on each side of the entrance here into the memorial. Those depict all kinds of activities that happened during World War II. You will see different induction stations and grave registrations, etc. The eagles that are above each of the Pacific and the Atlantic columns there, those eagles, each of those eagles up there weigh 60,000 pounds each. They were airlifted in and put in place by helicopter. The Wall of Silence over on the very front of the memorial. There are 1,000 stars each. 4,000 stars each representing 100 casualties of World War II. So it's representing 400,000 that we lost in World War II there. Each of the stone columns have a wreath on it, and they're all by states, and they are in order of how they came into the Union. So the first two are Delaware and Pennsylvania up on front. The Iowa pillar is over here on our right-hand side, right underneath the Pacific column here on the right. What we're going to do here, the first thing we're going to do is everyone will gather in front of the fountain Over on the Washington Monument side, we're going to gather there for a photo. So when we're off the bus, everybody's off the bus, over to the area for a photo we're going to have a group photo there. Restrooms here at the World War II Memorial. Off the coach and to the left, the building up in our front, those are the restrooms there on the left-hand side for those who need to use the restroom. The building right here on our right, that is for the people who have registered. You can look up anybody who was in World War II. We're going to let the staff off first, and then get the wheelchairs, and then we'll be getting off here momentarily. All right, so what we're going to do first is everybody is going to go over and get a photo. We're going to have a group photo over by the fountain. We'll have the fountain on our back, and we'll be facing the Washington Monument, okay? So that's that big stone over